we'll take a look at the Core Spawn Emissary from the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount. And this is a medium aberration with 15 AC and let's see here, 12 D8 hit dice with a Constitution bonus of 18, 13 Wisdom, and 8 Charisma. And this should be a CR6. Moving down into the skills area, we have 3 saves of Dex, Wisdom, and Charisma, resulting in a +2 AC bonus. Has 1 skill of Perception, doesn't matter. Damage immunities to Psychic, only 1, doesn't really matter, especially since it's Psychic. How often is that going to come into play? And then we will just skip right down into its traits with Magic Resistance. And then moving over to its actions area, our Core Spawn Emissary has a multi-attack of 3 talent attacks. Alright, so let's see what we have for talent attacks. Well, it's got a +6 to hit, and it's going to end up dealing, what we got here, 14 points of slashing damage from the talons. The Alluring Thrum the emissary emits a dreadful yet alluring hum. Each creature within 20 feet of the emissary that can hear it, and that isn't an aberration, must succeed on a save or be charmed. Alright, well, unfortunately it's a charm effect, and there's the likelihood that this won't take effect because it's either all or nothing. And because it's all or nothing, I think this is why D&D suggests that most of these conditions don't apply to the CR. If it was all something or nothing, like, you know, AoE spells, then we might have something there. And then we also have Crystal Spores. A 15-foot radius cloud of toxic crystalline spores extends out from the emissary. Alright, each creature must succeed on a DC Constitution save or become poisoned. While poisoned in this way, the creature takes 11 poison damage at the start of each of its turns. A creature can repeat the saving throw, ending effects on itself. Alright, that's not terrible. So we're looking at potentially minimum of 2 players, and that will be 11 just simply times 2 for the Crystal Spores. So we have a multi-attack here, and the funny part is that the multi-attack is going to be a lot more damaging than using the Crystal Spores. And unless you absolutely need players to be poisoned, I would skip over the Crystal Spores entirely. But otherwise, I would just focus on using the 3 talent attacks here. Because if we do that, we will look at something like this. We'll say the multi-attack times 3. Sure enough, our emissary is actually a CR6. If we don't keep doing the multi-attack, then we'll end up with something like this. So let's say right off the bat, we throw in the spores. So we have 22 points of damage here, and then for rounds 2 and 3, we'll do the multi-attack. Well, we're now looking at... Oh, alright, I'm surprised. The damage range was just enough to keep it within the CR6, so sure, use the Crystal Spores. This is similar to the other monster Cornucopia had requested, the Flying Fiend. I don't remember. It had spores as well, and even using the spores didn't really make much of a change. That's really surprising, but when you look at the average damage of 35 to 42, that's only a difference of 7 points of damage. It's a small difference, and the OCR does drop down just the tiniest bit. Let's see what we have here for... Yeah, the final OCR is only going to be a 5. Even though the OCR does drop down 1 step, the high damage resistances and defenses that it has does allow it to stay at that CR6 range. So we got lucky here. The Core Spawn Emissary with its Crystal Spores still allows it to stay at the CR6.